Welcome back to America Trends. I'm Barry Nussbaum, filling in for the little sick Dr. G. Remember our deal, send or get well notes, please. Our poll question tonight, Hillary's closest aide, Huma Abedin, was an editor at a radical Muslim journal for 12 years. Is this a valid issue in this presidential campaign? Please go vote in that poll at u2america.com or use the U2 America app, available now for Apple and Android devices. Download it if you don't have it already. Okay, Hillary Clinton is trending today after her appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night. Jimmy asked her about the rumors that she's in poor health, and this is how she proved she's healthy as a horse. Take a look.
Speaking of rumors that have gotten started, there's now the new one is that you are unhealthy, that you had a concussion.
Right.
That Rudy Giuliani was on Fox News yesterday and today, and he's saying you seem to be sick, you look tired, et cetera, et cetera. Are you in good health?
Well, this has become one of their themes. Here, you take my pulse while I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Make sure I'm alive.
Oh my God, there's nothing there.
There's nothing there. What can I say? It's, back in October, the National Enquirer said I would be dead in 6 months.
Oh, wow. Oh, boy.
So with every breath I take, I feel like it's a
You have a new lease on life.
Yeah, a new lease on life.
It's funny,
I don't know why they are saying this. I think, on the one hand, it's part of the wacky strategy. Just say all these crazy things, and maybe you can get some people to believe you.
Can you open this jar of pickles? This has not been tampered with. This is... oh,
you did get it. All right. Did Hillary put all those rumors to rest with the pickle jar test? Here to discuss is John Hawkins from rightwingnews.com. John, welcome back to the show.
It is great to be on with you. And yeah, she can open a jar of pickles. I'd have been more impressed if he had to walk up some stairs.
Well, you know what?
I'm not thinking she can handle that by herself without somebody holding her arm.
John, I got to be honest with you. I think it was staged. I think it was a BS test.
Sure.
And I think it was pre-opened. That's just me.
I wouldn't be shocked. Listen, this is a woman with no energy. This is a woman who had a serious head injury a couple of years ago. And it goes to show you how much in America we've gotten beyond the point where people even care about qualifications for office. This is a very stressful job. It ages people. And if you remember back in 2012 when you had Hillary and Barack going back and forth, and she was like, well, you know what? Who's going to answer that 3 a.m. phone call? Do you think Hillary's going to be capable of getting out of bed, going to have the energy to do it? I'm not so sure.
Well, let's talk about this, because Donald Trump is hitting this hard, John, and he mentions it all the time. She's low energy. She's taking naps. Hell, she took a couple days off this week while he was in Louisiana helping people that are being rescued, and she was out of sight. Is this going to have traction, do you think?
I think it will have a certain amount of traction. I think it will peel off some votes, but I mean, there are a lot of liberal Democrats, for example, who are going to care that she's not physically capable. No. But I mean, there's going to be a certain amount of independents who will. I don't think it's an election-winning issue in and of itself, but I think it is another weak spot where you look at her and say, listen, she's not physically able to be president. And I really don't think she is. I don't think she is up to the job physically.
All right, before we go to the next subject, I'm dying to hear what you have to say about the 15,000 emails that showed up miraculously out of the Wizard of Oz or whatever. Our producer Jason wants me to remind you about your really hot conservatives list. And certain inquiring minds in the studio want to know, is there a list for dudes?
You know, we have done lists for dudes before, not
Jason.
Me. I had some of the women on the side do it, but I don't know, that it doesn't get as much play.
Hello, there are certain people in this studio, I'm not going to mention names, that would like to make applications, and you have my email so we can correspond later. All right.
If we do a list this year, I can assure you. In fact, we might let Gina be one of the judges. That'll give you kind of a leg up.
I like it. I like it. When she gets better, I'll give her my resume. And I have pictures I can share. Okay. Let's talk email. John, do you remember about a year ago when the story first started and Hillary said, I've turned over all my emails except for a few personal ones that were just about personal things like yoga and my daughter's wedding, right? Then it turned out a few emails was, I believe the number was 33,000. That's a lot of who gets to sit with who at Chelsea's wedding. Now, there's 15,000 more that just showed up. 15,000 more. What kind of traction is this story going to have? Because supposedly, John, the world's going to get to see them before November. What's your thought?
I don't think it's going to get a ton of traction because Republicans are not making as much hay as they should be over it. Look, she should be up for perjury because not only she said that to the American public, she said essentially the same thing under oath. I mean, she should be on trial for perjury, just like she should have been on trial for having her own email server. If she was not Hillary Clinton, she would be in jail right now. So, I think they've got to make a bigger deal of it. And I think they've got to be willing to go out there and say, hey, she perjured herself. This is not a woman who belongs in the Oval Office. She belongs in jail, which is true.
All right, well, I have two follow-ups. You're making a really good point. Follow-up number one. The Democrats don't care. And the Republicans care a lot, but it's the middle. Everybody knows it's the decline to state. I haven't decided. I'm a registered independent. They're going to decide this election, Democrat or Republican. Everybody knows that. Does the middle care that there are tens of thousands of emails, as you said astutely, that didn't exist, now they exist? There's secret stuff on them, John. Everybody knows it, including the FBI. Does the middle care? The people that are going to decide this election, yes or no?
Well, I'm going to say no. But I'll tell you the reason why is you have to be able to draw that contrast where you have to be able to say, okay, the problem here is not just Hillary Clinton in these emails. You've got to say, all right, she's completely dishonest. Do we have a guy on the other side who's a paragon of virtue, who we can trust? And I don't think Trump has made the case that, hey, you can trust him 110%. And I think if he had, these emails would have a bigger impact.
Okay. Corollary question. Sure. This just astounds me. Mm-hmm. Years after he left office, Secretary of State Colin Powell is widely respected by Dems and Republicans, independents, especially in the military because of his background. She stuck the private email server story on him. And the last couple days, he's coming out saying, hey, I didn't have the same deal. I used AOL, and I never told Hillary Clinton to use her own private email server, and I certainly never told her to delete emails. Why isn't this headline news?
Well, you know what? They're looking for any excuse. The media is just another part of the Democratic campaign apparatus. This is just another lie, one of many, many lies she's made about her email server, and she's trying to pin this all on Colin Powell. She had an email server before she ever talked to Colin Powell.
And by the way,
so
Colin
it's
Powell,
all a scam.
He's running in the other direction, John. You're making a good point. Thanks for talking to us tonight. We sure appreciate it. Coming up next, we've got Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, my good friend and one of my heroes. Please don't forget to vote in our poll tonight. Stick around. We'll be right back.